What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you may or may not know, we are getting ready to head to California for the LZ Invitational or the LZ World Tour, round 1, Bakersfield, California, March 23rd, 24th, and basically need to be there Friday. It's Tuesday, and I haven't really messed with the S14. So we're gonna do a quick nut and bolt check on it, and then we might be able to see how much power this thing makes, but we're gonna go get it up in the air and see what we're done with. So we got the car up on the lift. Love having this bend pack 4-post. It's just nice to be able to like pull stuff up, but also see the suspension where it's supposed to be. Because when you're on a 2-post lift, obviously the suspension's all droopy, whereas you could see how it is. You could toe plate it, you could align it, you could adjust stuff. So first thing that I noticed right away was my catch can is over here, and it was actually kind of, I think it's kind of steamed a little bit, like a little bit of like, what would you call it?
Condensation.
Oil vapor has came out. My fuel pressure regulator is right beneath it. Clean that up real quick. My power steering has a little bit of a leak, but it's not like not actively like leaking or dripping. It just kind of has like a little bit of a weep, kind of similar to where like if you threw dust on it, it would stick. Other than that, I'm just gonna go around, do my normal checks, check all the tie rods, check the ball joints, make sure everything is tight and snug. The other cool thing about where this lift is located, there's a dyno right there.
We're gonna do dyno things today?
There's a dyno right there. I haven't had the S14 on the dyno since it was on a stock ECU, like 5 years ago. Same exact engine though. This engine's been on the dyno with my S550 Mustang, so it's been on the dyno, but it hasn't been on the dyno with this configuration with the EcuMaster and the bigger turbo and the injectors and all the stuff. So nut and bolt it, drive down the street, warm up some stuff. I think there's actually an exhaust leak too.
Yeah. Dude, the Artec manifold, sing, buddy.
Yeah, no, this car sounds completely different than it used to, and I absolutely love the way it sounds. So just kind of wiping things, double checking, making sure things look okay, and snug stuff up, make sure it's good, and take it for a rip down the street, see how it is. Trevor tech tip. You guys might have seen what I just did. I loosened a coolant fitting, and there's not going to be a bunch of coolant that drains out of this thing, but I don't want to like drain the system in order to do it. I just want to like pull it off. Sure, y'all have those black and yellow totes just hanging around your house, and you probably have like 10 extra lids that you just don't even know where you got them from. But these things are great because they're low profile and they cover a wide surface area. So what you do, if you have a small leak, obviously don't change your oil in it, but like if you're gonna do it and there's just gonna be a little bit of a coolant drip or a little bit of a tranny or power steering, just lay that on the ground. Works out great. Trevor tech tip number 2. If you ever have an AN line or something that's kind of in a weird spot where you can't get a AN wrench in there and like tighten it, but maybe it just needs just a little bit, you get a flathead screwdriver or a punch, and you just take it, you stick it right there on the edge. All right, you ready? See that? And then oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Loose. Also tightens. You'll thank me for that one of these days. All right, that's it right there. Who would have thought? I mean, honestly, it was me. I knew. It was me. That's also not good though, because look, like, where did that piece go? Probably out of the exhaust eventually. You can see where it's like been like moving around too. So I think I've had this exhaust leak for like 2 drift events.
Well,
obviously I have a new gasket to put in there, so we'll just get it back on there and snug her down. So car is on the dyno for the very first time. It's crazy, the dyno's been set up for like 6 months. We've had a 2JZ S14 that hasn't been on the dyno, and now we're finally doing it a day before we're supposed to be loaded in the trailer and ready to go. So not really much tuning. I just want to kind of do a checkup on it. I want to see how much power it's actually making. We just did a pull on the street to make about 19 pounds of boost. So that should be pretty spicy. I also want to play with the boost controller. That was one thing at the last LZ World Tour last year. I was having some issues linking the track because the car was only on like 14 or 12 pounds of boost. And I was trying to get it to go higher with the boost controller and it wouldn't. And then I finally ended up going back to like an older strategy of just like a duty cycle. And then it actually made like 18, 19 pounds. And that's when I was able to connect the course because I had all the power. We want to have enough power, but varying levels of power too. So if I have a map that makes 450 or 500 or 600. I don't know what it's gonna make, but Steve from Divulged, he tuned this engine, this ECU, when it was in my 2JZ Mustang. So not a lot of stuff should be changed. I put it on E85, added a little bit of fuel to it just because it was on pump 91 when he did it. But there shouldn't be a bunch of changes. I'm basically looking at stuff and kind of dialing in some things. I'll probably send Steve a log or two and see what he says. And if he thinks we need to change anything, then we will. But overall, I'm just gonna kind of monitor some stuff, gather some data, see how it's doing, and make some noise. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is download my current tune, save as. So save this before I make any changes, anything. That way I have a tune to go with the first log. We're gonna turn the boost down a little bit. I wanna see what the different variations of boost. Right now it's in like the kill mode right now. So we'll put it at number 2. This is what it first made on the street when me and Eric were out driving it, so. So first one, it was about 8 pounds. Second one, about 12, 13 pounds. And then the fourth one was like 16, 17 pounds. Basically, it was reading about 31 PSI on the ECU, which minus atmospheric, which is, I don't even know what the atmosphere is today. But yeah, we went to 120 miles an hour. We're in 4th gear. See that last one was about 7,000 RPMs.
The graphs is what I'm so stoked about, that you can see like the side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you could just tell where the turbo comes on is just right here, you know. So I almost wonder if we could play with the duty cycle with the boost right there and then maybe some ignition timing to see if I could pick that up, because that would be my concern, is how do we get more of that so throttle response when I'm drifting and transitioning behind people to where I'm not having to kick the crap out of the clutch. But yeah, you can see where it comes in, so cool. So we're gonna do another pull. We're gonna add a little bit of duty cycle to it. That was about 60% duty cycle on the wastegate. So we'll add just a little bit more. So this thing just made 580 horsepower. And how much torque?
586.
586 foot-pounds of torque.
580. That's crazy.
That's freaking awesome. So in pretty much everything, it's like from 4,500, obviously torque tapers, power keeps going, and this thing freaking is gonna rip. So it'll probably make a little bit more boost actually at the track, but now that we know we have just a little bit more power, we probably gained, what was that? That was another 40 horse.
Yeah.
Just by adding like 3-4 pounds of boost.
Yep.
So that is freaking sick. So now we have the confidence that, you know, if we get on a big track and we're against a fast guy or whatever, car's bogging down, we just boop, boop, hit the button, we're good to go. I'm freaking stoked to finally see this thing on the dyno. I literally did not touch the tune at all. All I did was adjust duty cycle in for the boost. So that was sick. Shout out to Steve from Divulge Motorsports, because he tuned this thing freaking years ago in the Mustang. So if you guys are stoked about California, hopefully we will see you guys there. We have some skate decks. We're going to be there with the STI. We're going to be selling merch. And if you guys have not got entered for a chance to win the STI, the giveaway is still live on that right now. So click the link in the description. Appreciate you guys watching. See you later.